Greetings all, Ferrariman 601 here. Welcome to Magione and welcome to Formula Hybrid 2019. This video is a bit of a strange one, I will admit. It's inspired partially by a comment from one SimRacing604 commenting on an Instagram post by one Jimmy Broadbent. And basically, in so many words, the idea came about that I should try and throw this car around Magione, which is a comically short and tight circuit for a Formula 1 car, as fast as I possibly can. So, well, I thought that this would be a reasonable challenge, and, well, we're gonna do it. On the car, we are sporting this absolutely resplendent livery made by one Dave Williams. He has since updated the Mercedes livery a little bit, so this is the latest version. There are a couple logos that were not present on the initial release from him, such as the CrowdStrike logo there on the rear wing end fence, and some Halo logos as well, which are not visible here because I don't have the correct Halo option selected for the moment, but we'll remedy that in the setup screen in due course. But yes, all I want to do is throw this car around Magione as quickly as possible, just for the hell of it, basically. Let's go back to the setup screen and figure out what we should do setup-wise. First of all, we need the softest possible tires. Tire pressures, let's crank them down just one click, down to 13 psi all around. Ambient conditions, I am going to be a complete cheater here, and we've selected 0C as our ambient temperature. How much fuel should we throw in? Parameters for this, we're going to do 10 flying laps, so that's 11 laps total, counting the out lap. And, yep, we're just going to see where the chips may fall at the end of that run. We're going to go for maximum downforce because, well, straight line speed is just not going to happen around this place. Going to open up the differential quite substantially. And we're also going to soften the anti-roll bars front and rear because this is a very tight and low-speed circuit. So again, high-speed aero grip, not really necessary. Let's go to the proper Halo array there. So now you can see that we have got the Marriott logos up on top of the Halo as Mercedes are running. And in the cockpit we'll bring up the lap time, as well as the pedal trace in the lower left, so you can see what my inputs are. Steering is going to be clipping a bit on the force feedback. Deal with it. If you don't like it, make your own video. And, yeah. 11 laps, including the out lap. See how fast we can throw this thing around this comically short circuit for a modern Formula 1 car. Now, getting tire temperature is actually going to be a little bit of a challenge because of the short nature of this circuit, and there are basically no high-speed corners, so we've really got to build tire temperature the old-fashioned way. We have had the tires in the warmers, so that's going to help us out a lot, but it won't do everything for us. We also don't want to cook the tires by scrubbing them around too much. This is our DRS zone, the one and only DRS zone of this lap. At least I think so. I don't think there's one down start-finish. We'll find out. And this is really the only somewhat high-speed corner on the circuit, but it's not really that high-speed a corner. Sweet spot tire pressure-wise on this car is, per RSS, 21 PSI. So we're at 19 and 18 all around right now, but no matter, let's go for it. Turn on our hybrid systems. There is no DRS zone down the start-finish straight. Into turn one. Second gear. This car really does feel very clumsy through these low-speed corners because it is just so long and pretty heavy compared to Formula 1 cars of the past. Let's lighten up the rear axle for you. And that's some opposite lock. There's some DRS. 30 seconds in. What have we got? Visibility coming into this braking zone is pretty atrocious, I must say. We can definitely string it out more through that corner. Again, tires are still not quite where I want them. Second gear feels too short for this. Next lap we'll use third. I have to remind myself consciously. Really having trouble putting the power down out of that final corner. 56 seconds for our first lap. I barely have time to look at the lap timer there before we're braking for turn one. 56 0.05 on the steering wheel. You can obviously see down to the thousandths place on the timing and scoring screen. Second gear through this corner seems to be the only way. Light him up. Third gear, second gear once again. Maybe third gear there as well on the next lap, we'll see. DRS, we're up by nearly half a second so far. A little bit of manual ERS deploy, bring us up to an even half. Brakes, turn, fifth gear, trying to get back on the power as much as I dare. Car's not really going fast enough to take advantage of its full complement of aero. Stay in third gear for this final section. Third gear feels a little too long, but it feels better than second, and better traction coming out of the final corner. 55 and change there. Already beginning lap 4 of 11. On the power, trying, there we go. Second gear, gotta use second gear to get the rear end open enough to make the corner in the first place. Making a mess of this first part of the lap. I just can't get it slowed down enough. And that's not to do with the brakes or any other performance characteristics of the car. That's due to my own ineptitude. We're down by half a second. Can we claw it back in the closing stages of the lap? Probably not. Overcorrecting a little bit because I don't trust the downforce through that long right-hander. We gained a little bit of time back, but we didn't go into the positives for that lap. Lap 5 now. Up by a quarter. Brakes, locking them up. Power on. Short shift a little bit into third. Third gear, second gear. Almost full lock. On the power. DRS, manual ERS. Up by a quarter. See what we've got. Stay with it. I used all the road there that time. Brakes. Stay in third. Apex. Squirt. Brake. Apex. Squirt again. Apex. On the power. Come on. Up by a third. A little bit less. Come on. Power on. You have to wait so long to get on the power because there's so much torque in this car. You'll light up the rear axle all the way into fifth gear if you're not careful. There we go. On the brakes, turning. Now, power, second gear. Come on. Down by half. Is it even worth trying to continue on this one, or should we save some energy? I don't know. Speaking of energy, let's bring the recovery down to 50% off of the MGUK. It's going to affect our braking a little bit. Come on, come on, come on. A little bit of oversteer through there. Miss the apex there. Hit the apex there. Hit the apex there. Power on. Again, we gain a little bit of time at the end, but not enough to go positive. On the power gradually, now full beans. A little bit of a lockup starting there. We counter in time. On the power. Come on, come on, come on, come on. What can we do? Second gear, full lock. There's the apex. On the throttle, third gear, short shift. Just keep it in third this time. On the power a little earlier. Good. DRS. Up by a third. Gonna watch our energy charge now. At a 50% recovery, we could be running out of electricity before too long, so we got to keep an eye on that. Not so much of an opportunity for the car to do some regen around here because the straights are decently long, yes, but we're not on the brakes all that much. On the power, that was mostly sideways through the last part of the lap, but that's our fastest lap of the session. Come on, come on, come on. That was a little bit perilous. On the power, come on. Down by a quarter in turn one. Turn one is really, really difficult here because the car is starting to want to hunker down, but you're not quite going fast enough for the downforce to work. So it's all mechanical grip, which this car has a lot of, but you need the tire and the aero working in harmony to really extract the performance from this thing, and you're just not going fast enough for that to happen. Already down the back straight, down by half. On the brakes, trying to throw it in. The downforce just isn't there. The second part of the corner, it's a little bit more stable. Third gear, keep it in. Try to keep it in. And on the power. Again, we can gain time in the last sector, but again, not enough to go positive. Gonna have to watch our regen here. Lap 11 is gonna be our last lap. We're just barely positive on this one. Now just barely negative. Now just barely positive. The next lap we're gonna do some regen, and then we'll have one more attack for lap 11. Brakes. Come on. Throw it in. Throw it in again. Throw it in one last time. Power on. Alright, we gained a lot of time in the final part of that lap. We're going to back off now and do some regen for this lap. Quick primer on how to use the hybrid systems. If you put it in battery mode on the MGU-H, you're going to be generating power down the straights. And of course, if you put it into charge mode, you're going to be harvesting the maximum amount of energy with essentially zero hybrid deploy when you get on the throttle. Coming down through here, we'll be regenning all the way down the straight, so our top speed will be diminished a little bit. Don't want to slow down too much though, because the tires will fall off the cliff. And you barely have enough time around this lap to make adjustments. So we'll go back to balance high, or actually, we'll go to hot lap for this last attack. MGU-H to motor, and let's give it the beans. By a quarter second. Just really having trouble getting the power down. This lap has not turned out well at all. I think we went a little bit too slow last time around. Tires came off of the boil. And that is overcooking it. Yep. We overstepped the bounds of the tire and came out to bite us. So I think we have an answer to our question, though. How fast can we throw this thing around in 10 flying laps? Well, our answer is 54.225 seconds. Which is altogether not too bad, I must say. But I'm fairly sure that there is more time left on the table. But the tires are off the boil now. Remember, these are the Ultra Softs. So even though this is a short circuit, there's a lot of stop-start and a lot of really tight corners, so the tires actually do get quite a bit of loading. Not so much in the sense of aerodynamics, but the mechanical grip is really stressed here, making it a very interesting challenge for a Formula One car. These cars love to work with aero. You don't get much aero around here, even at max wing. That is it. Totally missed the pit in, but that's okay. We'll just totally break the rules here. This is what I think of Jean Todt. There we go. Hi, Jean. Am I breaking a rule yet? I hope so. Alrighty then. But yeah, that is as fast as I can manage to throw this car around Magione in this spec on this day, in this ad hoc sort of setting. 54 seconds, .225. I'm sure that many of you can do better if you haven't done better already, but that's my best effort. And actually, how much fuel was left on board? 8.2 liters, so we actually ended up carrying way more fuel than we needed. This car is very frugal, and of course that is one of the things that the turbo hybrid power unit regulations attempted to achieve, and they definitely have achieved it. Again, these engines have upwards of 50% thermal efficiency, so yeah, they are pretty economical for 1,000 horsepower racing engines. So again, impressive. But there it is. That is what I had for you today. Again, this ad hoc idea, courtesy of Sim Racing 604 and indirectly Jimmy Broadbent. So thanks to those guys. Until next time, though, I hope you all enjoyed this. Ferrari Man 601 saying thank you, and of course, we will see you soon.